Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we'll be going through the Collingwood Magpies AFL Fantasy Preview for 2023. Remember to like and subscribe as it is crucial for this channel to grow. And this is, I think, the fourth last fantasy preview, and we enter the top 4 from last year. So after that, we'll be going on to fan voted or subscriber voted videos, such as I believe the first one will be the mid prices for forward, rookies, defenders, and rucks. I haven't decided yet whether that will be split up into individual videos or whether it will just be one bigger video, but I'll come to that decision in the near future. Now on to the players. I've done my usual, if I now do that, there we go. Done my usual highlighting of key players. So let's get on to it. We'll go through the list and go down and find players. Now Jack Crisp, he doesn't have that defender status that I believe he had last year, meaning that he probably isn't going to be that guy anymore. Does it show that he had it? So 94 average. I just don't think he can bump it up high enough for what you need out of him. 2021 average 101, 76, 97. I just have a feeling for the price point that he's at, you might as well pick Mitchell, who we'll get on to, as they're both around the same point, and Mitchell has prior history, plus also was in a down year and averaged 94 or 95-ish. So that's that point. Pendlebury, I think he's just too old for it anymore. He won't average what he did previously when he... So if we look at 2021, 84, 103, 101... I don't think he's going to get back to those consistently averaging 100 ever again in his career. I think he's just past it now. So I don't think he's a go, honestly. That's as straightforward as it can be. He's just too old. I don't think he'll return back. Taylor Adams, I think just stay away from this pick because of injury, and that's why a lot of people have. I think there's more upside and potential of Rowbottom and others over Adams. But, yeah, and also just the injury concern as well. So there's like 2 or 3 negatives with him. I don't see many positives with him, so therefore I wouldn't select him. Darcy Cameron's one that I think many people have selected, and I just don't like selecting a player off a majority... when they don't get a majority of preseason in. Like, I can understand if you're like 1 or 2 sessions you're on a light work, but it doesn't seem like Darcy Cameron when we're 3 weeks out from the season. He's not even up to standard to be able to play at the moment. He's just jogging laps. So he seems like he's had an injury in preseason, and I'll get to it later. That has derailed basically me choosing him at all. And I've just decided to go with hopefully 2 set and forget rucks. Oh wow, I skipped over. Anyway, Lipinski, no, don't think he can do much. Maybe he'll be the shock guy, so just keep him on your radar. I mean, I can understand why some people have picked him because he's 24 or something. And 2021 he played 9. He's got that classic arc in him, and he's averaged 85 at the Bulldogs before. So I can understand why people have selected him. I just don't think he's the one to select in this situation here. But I can understand why people have. So he's one probably to keep an eye on in preseason, as he could step up, and you could see that, and then I'll be more inclined. But I just don't think he gets the better role, especially with the introduction of Tom Mitchell to the club in that midfield role. Degoe, I think you can't really go for Degoe just because there's so much stuff off field. You can't risk having basically almost a premium guy be suspended midweek for a couple of games or something, or have all these issues flying over his head. And then also, he only played 16 games last year. If we go to 2021, played 20, played 8, 16, 17, 14. He's never played a full season. So you're trying to get upside out of him as a mid, as he doesn't have forward status anymore. And I just don't see it, especially because he will play forward now, more so, that because of the introduction of Mitchell. If we go to 2022, like, he did have very good scores, and then he had an injury here, somewhere here, and he just basically didn't turn up. And yeah, so I just don't think he's the best choice. Josh Daicos, could he be the Carl Amon type winger that does really well? I think he could. He's one that definitely, I think, could take the next step. As we look at match stats here, he started all right, and then he went through this massive clump here, and then I'm pretty sure didn't even. The problem for him is that I think he probably just puts up a lot of 80 scores, and that really can't lift his average enough to get up to that average needing about 90 or so for him. So I don't think he's the choice. I think the other Daicos brother is probably the choice there. Elliot, keep small forward, but I don't think he does well. Maynard, no. Sidebottom, no. Noble could be one with a little bit of upside, but I don't see it too terribly much. Howe, no. Markov might not even get a game. McStay's a key forward, so no. Craner, no. Hoskinelli, Blanco, Moore, no. Ginnivan, suspended. I've heard he could potentially have an injury as well, so that doesn't help. McCree is just a forward. Don't think he gets any midfield time, so knock him off. Johnson, key forward. Carmichael, from memory, no. I think he had like one good game where he kicked a bag, and then the rest he didn't do terribly well. I kicked one goal. I just don't think he's the pick here. I don't even know if he'll get necessarily a game. We'll see with the introduction of other, like Bobby Murphy and stuff like that, whether he gets a game, but he's one to look out for. Murphy, he'll know. A lot of these guys are just not going to do anything. Finn McRae was one that I was looking into, but then I had in my side, I'm pretty sure, as or on my bench in the forward spot. And then I saw, like, first day preseason, he was non-contact and just running laps. So that pretty much put him out, as I think he's a guy that will average 60 when he gets a game. So he'll be a rookie downgrade option. I just think he's not going to play round one and cannot have 290k not playing round one. No one else here. Ed Allen is this? Yeah, he's one that he's a rookie that I think will play early. If we look here and we look at their fixtures, probably doesn't play Geelong. I reckon he might come in against for this. They might try and bring him in for this run here, St Kilda to even down to West Coast. If he plays well enough, he could almost stick in till the bye in a midfield, more bully midfield role. as he has the frame to be able to do that. I believe he's in the 190 centimeters. He's like 6'3" or something. Did I just spell his name wrong? Yeah, 194 centimeters. That's a huge frame, and I think he has the weight to be able to like punch around in that midfield. So he's definitely one to look at. I've also thought Jacob Ryan could be another one that could get a game quite early. So definitely look at him when teams come out on every round, as he could be named. Then you have the mature age Joe Richards. I think if he's named round 1, then I might pick him in this spot here over Matthew Johnson. It's 206k. It's 6k. That will help fill up that spot and get me to 29 green. So Will Kelly, no. I think Dean's already been put on the inactive list due to injury. Draper, Merlot, none of these guys probably get a game this year. Now we go to players on field. Daicos, as I'll talk about more in the next section of it. He looks to be the pick this year in the back line, and I think that's why his ownership is starting to skyrocket now, coming out of what we know from preseason. I think he's gonna be a great player in this as well, because he's gonna, I believe, start playing in the midfield. So yeah, he should easily go 100s here and be a top 6 defender. Tom Mitchell, again, great guy to have, just because of the potential he has. I don't think he necessarily will work in the Collingwood system that they have, so I don't think he returns back to the big fancy numbers that he had previously. If I go here, profile 2021 would have been a good year for him. 115, 2020, 85, 0, 129. I don't think he returns back to this 127s, 128s that he was having, but I do think he can get to that 110, 115. I think that's obtainable. And for Tom Mitchell's standards, well, that's low on Tom Mitchell's standards, but for the whole comp, that's priced at, what is that, like 1 million. So you can get an 850k player for 1 million and basically have little to no risk as a third of the comp owning. Do I have any more Collingwood players at the moment? No. So if I actually go to, where is it? I go to here, then you'll see the 2 tweets that I have here. Nick Daicos, full-time mid. So as I was saying, he's going to be a choice this year. And yeah, he's going to return to the scores that he was putting up in under 17s, under 18s when he was in the midfield. I think he goes and reaches and he'll be my D2 for basically the whole year this year. And then, yeah, as I was saying with Darcy Cameron, he was not playing in the intra-squad match, and he's been on a modified running program. So take of that as you will, but I don't know if he is necessarily the choice anymore. So now, if I go back to here, that's my review of the Collingwood Magpies AFL Fantasy Preview 2023. Remember to like and subscribe so I can get more videos that you guys want out before the AFL season kicks off. We have got the Swans, Demons and Cats reviews to go. So they will be coming out in the coming days. And then we have, I've got the bid prices to do, those videos or video. I haven't decided yet. So if you want to watch my other AFL content, there will be a playlist up in the corner. And if you want to watch specifically the AFL Fantasy Previews, there'll be another playlist in the corner. Thanks, guys, and goodbye.